Welcome to Food Vendor 101. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the fire department and what they're looking for when inspecting your booth. Last week we talked about the health department and their guidelines, so take notes on today's show because the fire department is just as important. If we've never met before, my name is Frankie Epifani with Food Vendor 101, and this is where the entrepreneurial spirit goes to learn. I teach entrepreneurs how to become successful food vendors. I'm also the co-founder of The Spot, which is a food and beverage company that focuses on music festivals and air shows. This week, I'm in Newport Beach, California. Guys, the weather here is insane. It's about 75 degrees, it's bright and sunny, and I have the beach as a background with a nice little golf course. Take a look at this view behind me. Pretty nice, right? Man, I love California. And if you guys like California too, give me a thumbs up in the comments. All right, guys, let's jump into it. I'm gonna start off by talking about the two types of fire extinguishers you will need to have in your booth. The first type is called a Class ABC fire extinguisher, and it is the color red. This extinguisher can be found in many common places like your home, place of business, hotels, RVs. Keep in mind that no matter what event you're setting up to sell food at, the fire inspector will require that you provide an ABC fire extinguisher, as this is most commonly used extinguisher. The second type is a Class K fire extinguisher, and it's the color silver. This type will be required by the fire department if you're cooking with any type of frying oil, things of that sort. The chemical in this device is like a green liquid that is meant only for grease or oil. So please take a mental note that you cannot use an ABC fire extinguisher to put out a grease fire, and you cannot use a K extinguisher to put out a normal fire. These two types of extinguishers are classified differently for that exact reason. Okay. Now that we understand the differences between the extinguisher, let's talk about what the fire inspector is looking for inside your booth. Since I have the most experience working with the fire department in Phoenix, Arizona, I'm going to talk about my experiences with the Phoenix Fire Department and what is expected of food vendors when it comes to the fire inspection. I always recommend you look up your local fire department guidelines to make sure that you have a clear understanding of their rules. Hey guys, if you do not follow the fire department rules, you will not be able to open. I have seen this happen to my fellow food vendors, and I tell you, it is not only embarrassing but devastating to your business. Make sure you know exactly what they will be looking for before you step foot on site to set up your booth. When cooking within, our own operations at The Spot, we use an open flame and a closed flame equipment. So we have both. For example, we use a flat top griddle with knobs that control the amount of propane that is being used in order to control the heat. Okay, this type of equipment is called a closed flame. When cooking with like a charcoal grill that is fueled by charcoals, that is considered an open flame. Please note that you are able to cook with closed flames under your tent, but when cooking with an open flame, you will need to have the equipment placed out from underneath the tent. Hey guys, if everything I just talked about in this video is informative, hit the like button, hit it. My goal is to give you guys digestible information that you can use in your own business. Now, we are moving into the propane tanks, hoses, and regulators. You remember that song called Regulators by Warren G? That was my jam growing up in middle school. That's quite a bit long time ago. Okay, back to the show. You must make sure that your tanks are certified and tagged properly when showing up to an event. As a matter of fact, you won't be able to fill your tanks at a refill station if they are not certified. The inspector will be looking to make sure that the tanks are certified and not out of date. When hooking up your regulator to the tank, you want to make sure that it's tight and no gas is leaking through. The easiest way to test this is by having a spray bottle with soap and water, then spraying the liquid right onto the connection between the valve and the regulator. If you find that once you have sprayed the soap and the water on the connection and there's bubbles being created, then you have a leak. You will then need to tighten the valve a little more, or you could actually remove the regulator and use yellow line tape to help tighten it or to help secure the gas lines. And that's made exactly for that. You do not want to have a leak because it's extremely dangerous and you'll also use up a lot of propane that will escape. Once you have your tanks in place, you will be required to secure the tanks with a ratchet strap to a structure that won't allow the tanks to fall over. Or the other option is you can strap 3 or 4 tanks together. Keep in mind that the tanks do have to be at least 10 feet away from the cooking equipment. Now, in order to have the ability to put the tank so far away, you're going to need a hose that's a minimum of 10 feet long. I suggest you purchase a hose that is 15 to 20 feet long. It's better to have and not need than need and not have. Here's a quick bonus for you guys about a safety release valve that comes on tanks. This valve will scare the shit out of you if you don't know about it. You need to be aware that when a tank is filled all the way and then placed in the sun, the gas will actually expand inside the tank and will cause the tank to start hissing and spraying gas out of the side. The first time this happened to me, I didn't know what was happening. So be careful of that. It's a little scary. I hope my video has helped you understand more about the fire inspector and what they're looking for. If you have any questions or would like to suggest any other topics for me to discuss in the future videos on this show, please leave them in the comments below. I would really appreciate that. Join me next week because I'm going to be doing my Facebook Live show every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you want to learn more about becoming a food vendor, please visit our website at foodvendor101.com and join our mailing list. Until next week, keep hustling it and keep killing it. I'll talk to you soon.